Lateral Pack. These are the materials that you need right here. You're going to need a gated Y. You're going to need an 1.5 to a 1 inch reducer. You're going to need a roll of 1 inch hose. You're going to need a Forester nozzle, and you need to take off the spray side, and you need to check this little disc. It's got a bunch of little holes in it. You need to make sure those holes are clear. You may have to stick a needle in there in order to take and clear those holes. You'll also need, you're going to need some paracord. You're going to need 3 longer pieces about that long, 3 foot long, and 1 shorter piece about that long. So we won't cut that yet. We'll wait until we get to that point. So you're going to take this hose and you're going to roll it out, and then we're going to wind it onto that board. You're going to take the male end of this hose and you're going to put it over your stick. The stick is about 40 inches long. It can be up to about 44 inches long. You're going to wind it around this stick. And you want it on here pretty snug, but it doesn't have to be over snug. You just want it around here pretty uniform. You're going to go around and around and around until you put all the hose on here. So then you got this all wrapped on here. You're going to take and pull out this stick, and you don't want to pull it all apart when you work it out. So work it out, just let it take and stay like that. You set your stick off to the side because you're done with that board. You'll open this up. You're going to bring this back about that far. That's going to make a loop. Remember, this is a lateral pack, so we need something to pack it by. Now we have a loop that's going to be right here. Now we're going to make it into a little bit of a square with our loop right here. The loop's a little bit big. Make the loop a little bit smaller. See how you can adjust that? Then we're going to pull this down, leaving about 6 inches. We're going to pull it down like that right in the middle. Now, before we do that, we're going to cut our string, because we need a string for this. We're going to cut one of them about 2 foot long. We're going to cut 3 of them about that long, 3 foot long. Doesn't matter if they're a little bit different in length. That doesn't make a bit of difference, because you'll take care of it at the end. I'll show you. All right, so 3 foot long. On all these, we're going to put a loop in the end by just holding the end down here like that and tying a knot. We're going to make the loop big enough that we'll be able to get through it. So when we get done, we're going to have a loop. We're going to do that with each of these.
You want to show another one up close? Or do it real slow?
Just an overhand knot with a loop. The short one goes under the middle, comes around. Now this knot, come and get a close-up of this. This knot's a special knot. You're going to put this loop through there like that. But you're not going to pull the ends through. You're just going to tighten this up like this. All right, so there, I don't have this tight as I want it. I'll show you that in a second. But this is the knot. Now watch what happens when I pull this. If you just do a normal knot there and you're not thinking about this, if you put it through here like this and you just tie it off like this, it'll be tied off and your slip knot will work. Tied off, right? Watch what happens when I pull on it. It don't come loose. You have to cut every one of them. So just make sure when you do this that you put a loop in there and then you tie to that loop. Put a loop in it. This is probably one of the most important parts right here. Tighten it up, put a loop in it, and then you go through that loop to make your knot. The end never goes through. That's the knot. Loop in a loop. When I pull on this one, it comes apart. All right, so we'll put the Forester nozzle on here. Just like that. Like this. We're going to put a couple of our lines underneath this. One of these is going to go down here towards the bottom. And one of these is going to go up here across underneath this, but making sure we get our nozzle. So we're going to suck this together. We're going to use the same knot that we used before. We're going to tighten this really tight, as tight as we can get it. And if you need to pull it tight by pulling it through first, that's fine. Just make sure you go back and make the same knot. If you don't, you're going to have a real problem. And you may have to slide it back like that to get more leverage, because you want this really tight. So just make sure here that you go back here and redo this loop and a loop here. This is where the needle nose pliers comes in handy. I made my loop big enough, but I'm having a little difficulty grabbing my loop. So I can grab it with the needle nose. Remember to leave that loop. Tighten it back up again. Tight as you can get it. And then take right there where it's holding together and grab it with your needle nose right at that thing for it can't slip. Then take this loop, put it through there just like we did on our other one. Now that you got needle nose on there, you can tighten it right against your needle nose and pull your needle nose out. Tighten it up. Pull it back to where there's only about an inch of loop and let that go off to the side. Then take the next one. Now we'll add on our gated Y. All right, then we're going to go to this loop. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to put our loop in there. We're going to try to keep our loop in the loop like we want it by holding on to the end of it. We'll keep moving it down here so we can get it tighter. And we want it really, really tight again. Then we'll grab it with our needle nose when we get it as tight as we can get it. And then we'll put a loop in a loop again. Pull out our needle nose. Take it back to where there's about an inch. And then we'll put one more string around this end of our I'm going to run this all the same direction because it's easier to tie them together. You could do this time lapse.
You're just going to fast forward all this. Or cut it all out.
How do you fast forward it?
Editing program.
It'll fast forward?
If you put it in your editing program. Well,
We gotta edit it. Kinda. Alright, tight as you can get it again. Grab it with your needle nose. Right at the thing. Put the loop in the loop. This one could have been just a hair longer, but it should be fine. Alright, so then you take the 4 ends. We have 4 ends here. You bring all these 4 ends together into one bundle. As you all know already, all you have to do is take this where the knot's at, pull on that cluster, and it'll all come apart. Then you spread it out and use it. That, my friends, is a lateral pack. Throw it on your shoulder and away you go. And that completes how to build a lateral pack. Coronavirus, Corona training. All right, we're gonna burn these ends. I think you guys all know how to do end burning. Ain't getting burned again. So there is a completed hose pack. The loop could have been a little bit longer, but it'll be fine. You throw it on your shoulder and away you go. You can pack about 3 or 4 or more of these if you needed to.